What is cultural imperialism? When one country's culture dominates strongly as an influence on one country, we call this cultural imperialism. Its idea is audiences around the globe are heavily shaped by the media messages coming from powerful, industrialized Western nations. While media imperialism sounds familiar, it is only a part of cultural imperialism. It is only one of its agendas. Cultural imperialism has a wider scope and remains as the main focus of international communication studies. Its very core is deeply tied to a political economy perspective, but it's not only solely focused in culture, but also in money, infrastructure, and political power. The ultimate goal is to become dominant economically and politically, even at the expense of weaker developing countries. In its early stage, cultural imperialism views nation-states as crucial players. Western nations exported cultural products like films, TV shows, and news to developing nations. This resulted in global media flow being heavily in favor of industrialized countries, which also revealed bias in both quantity and quality. In terms of quantity, Western nations are dominant in media exportation. Meanwhile, in terms of quality, weaker developing nations were ignored or portrayed in a negative light in Western media. This highlighted the one-sided relationship between developed countries and developing countries within the global communication system. Moreover, this imbalance resulted in the creation of the New World Information Order, which was later reformed to the New World Information and Communication Order. At first, they only focused on an equal flow of media between the global north and global south, but later on, they shifted to include all forms of international media. At its heart, they focused on the imbalance in representation because developed Western nations controlled the narrative while developing nations were treated as marginalized. In addition, the rise of communication technology, the likes of satellites, exacerbated the situation. Instead of aiding to solve the imbalance, it further expanded and intensified debates about fairness and representation. To end, cultural imperialism highlighted how global media is shaped by unequal power dynamics between nations, deeply rooted in economics and politics. Western media showing dominance has further influenced cultural perception of politics across the globe, especially in developing countries. Meanwhile, the WNICO sought to challenge these inequalities by protesting for a fairer distribution of media flows. Although, even in today's hyper-connected world, the concern remains the same about fair representation, control, and equality remains highly relevant.